Hang in there, it is.
That Smiley Kaufman for 61. Wow.
I'm Smiley Kaufman, and this is The Smiley Show.
Welcome back to another episode of The Smiley Show at a major. We're here in person again. Cannot beat it. Live from the PGA Championship, Smiley. We are live-ish from Malone's here in Louisville. This is amazing. You got the liquor bottles back here. This is the bar. We're gonna have a nice little steak for dinner once we wrap this episode. They're treating us right here at Malone's.
Yeah, I mean, this is unbelievable. This is the setup is as good as it gets. Shout out to Malone's and the good people here in Louisville. As soon as I drove into town, I got really thirsty immediately, but we got a little old fashions going here, so
got some nice little Malone's old fashioned.
Not quite hardos, like we're not doing it quite neat yet. This is the first cocktail, so bear with us.
We will get to neat at some point in the evening, just not right now, because we'd like to do a coherent PGA Championship preview show. We also have to say a big thanks to our new friends at T-Mobile, who we're going to be hanging with all week long at Club Magenta. It's on the 10th hole of Valhalla. SK, give us a little rundown of what they can expect at Club Magenta all week long with you hosting.
Yeah, I'll be spilling the tea, if you will. Especially tomorrow. Exciting lineup all week, but tomorrow's going to be great with Max Homa, Wyndham Clark, and Tony Finau. So if you are on property, please come by. It's going to be a lot of fun. Talking to the games, it's three of the best players in the game, getting their take on Valhalla, and then also being in an incredible spot in Club Magenta. It's going to be a really fun week. I'll be there all week hosting, so really excited. Some great people over there at T-Mobile, and look forward to really just getting it started here this week at PGA.
Just getting those magenta vibes rolling. Which
Good magenta vibes.
Great magenta vibes. Cannot wait for it. Everyone can come hang out at Club Magenta.
That's the cool thing.
If you're a T-Mobile customer, you can get more perks. So I'd say just come hang out with us. Come vibe on the magenta level.
Shout out. We are T-Mobile guys.
Dogs. We're T-Mobile guys.
Yeah.
What do you think about? I was thinking about this on the way down because I haven't washed my 2014 Prius maybe ever. And I was looking at the paint, and I'm thinking about, what do you think about like a fresh coat of magenta paint on that bad boy? Really spice it up.
And all right, so what's the make, model, and year on your?
This is a 2014 Toyota Prius that starts maybe half the time if I'm lucky.
I've seen you try to get this thing started.
It's not pretty.
I do think that you are in a position to go all in on the magenta for the Prius, because I think we could go magenta for the paint, and then maybe slap a couple Smiley Show bumper stickers on there. I think if there's ever a car to go all in on about not caring what it looks like, it's this Prius.
The car has become a bit. I can't go away from it now. I kind of I was talking myself into it in the sense that like Scotty Scheffler may still be driving that like Suburban with 180,000 miles on it.
Yeah.
Like this is my version of that, except I'm not, the best ball striker in the world and making millions of dollars every week.
We probably need to shout out any car company, because I think we are.
Please.
We're in the market for some dad minivans, because I think that's the next step from the Prius.
That's right. With a second on the way, I think the Prius is going to get sunset pretty soon here. Although I'll say this too, it made it 8 hours from Durham, which was a delightful trip. I got to say, because we're going to get into the PGA Championship preview, but I just have to tell you, I got to look this up to see exactly where I was. I was looking for a place to get some gas and to get a bite to eat. And so I pulled over for some gas in Moorhead, Kentucky. And I looked across the street and I saw a billboard at a Little Caesars. First of all, it was a drive-through at a Little Caesars. There's a billboard that said, "You've been waiting since 1959.
Yep.
Now open, May 14th. I made it to the grand opening of a Little Caesars today, and I was not going to miss it. I went in there, I got the crazy bread, I got little pizza cupcakes. It's unbelievable.
I don't know if I'm more shocked about you going to Little Caesars, but also I'm a little surprised that they're still opening Little Caesars. Is that almost more shocking?
It came as a shock to me too, although the people in there could not have been nicer. And the way the spin zone I'm doing on that is I wanted to juxtapose, I wanted to do something as far away as possible from the delicious steak that I'm going to have tonight at Malone's as I could. So I did I had a crazy bread at Little Caesars, and now we're going to dig into a nice steak here tonight once we finish up.
Look at this. We got silverware here anyways. We're ready to rock.
We're ready to eat, and we're ready to kind of dig into this preview. And I think, Smiley, here's a place I want to start because it's been an interesting year in golf. It's been an interesting 2 years in golf. But where we've arrived, I can't remember feeling this excited about a major in a long time, and this is why. You have the number 1 and the number 2 player in the world who are both coming off wins in their last 2 starts, and they're playing in a venue that in the last 3 playings have had electric results at this major. Just really exciting finishes, great leaderboards. I mean, I feel like we're shaping up for a great week.
I think so too. I mean, I've played Valhalla last fall with one of my teammates who's a member out there, Austin Gutzell, who happens to be here tonight. Shout out Austin. So this golf course has produced so much drama over the years in incredible PGA Championships and Ryder Cups. Justin Thomas, when he came on the podcast in his home, when he delightfully said yes when we were looking for a guest, gave us some great insight talking about, you can judge the course all you want. Is it the toughest major golf course that they're going to see over the next decade? Probably not. But has it produced some incredible drama TV results? Yes. 2 playoffs and PGA Championships, one being a one-shot victory by Rory McIlroy. I think this golf course is going to be very tight as far as the leaderboard goes, and maybe as the weekend goes on, the firmness starts to separate, where a guy like Scottie Scheffler, if he's just around the lead, that maybe he can kind of work his way towards the top. But you gotta have to wonder about the dad back coming off of the baby did come a little later. Congrats to Meredith and Scottie, by the way. But that's like my biggest concern is where Scottie's mentally at. Listening to an interview earlier this week with Todd Lewis, I came away with the interview being like, crap, he's going to win again, isn't he?
I have that feeling. I also just realized that I've done the first 5 to 6 minutes of this episode wearing headphones after I said we weren't going to wear headphones.
Yeah.
So
I thought it was like a cool kid on the
like a headphones bit. Yeah, I'm going to take the headphones off now. So wow, now I'm getting a full sense of the ambiance in here. So it really is interesting in terms of thinking about these two, Scottie and Rory, and I think, and even going back to what you're saying about Valhalla, where comparisons have been made in a lot of ways to Quail Hollow, where Rory's coming right off a win of where, okay, we get it. It's not everyone's favorite place in terms of a golf course architecture and layout and things like that, but you can't deny the fact that it produces elite, good winners, and that it's a venue that's built for this level of golf. So let's maybe start a little bit with Rory. And a bit of a downer today in the news. We saw that TMZ, I believe, reporting first that Rory's filing for divorce. And I don't want to get into any of the personal ramifications of what's happening there, but here's the kind of question I want to ask you, because I've heard this on a number of occasions, hearing tour pros talk about, hey, some of the best golf I played in my life was when there was the most stuff going on in the backdrop of my life. And I'm wondering, Rory coming in, I'm sure he didn't want this to drop when it did, but, the paperwork was filed and he had to know it was coming at some point. What do you think about his mindset coming into this week?
Well, I just kind of go back in a timeline of conversations or just noticing things about Rory and how he's been preparing, or just, I feel like every week has something that is newsworthy, but this was unexpected, and it's no place for us to kind of talk about his personal life. But going back to San Antonio, I just noticed how into his golf he was. Just going to see Butch Harmon, and it seemed like there was a dedication to the golf, and that he was so focused on getting his game back and getting back into the winner's circle. So it wasn't surprising to me to see him go on this run, because it seems like he's got, his life in order. I don't know if this is the best way to say it, but his golf side of his life, I feel like he's as focused as he ever has been. And he's playing free. His technique is fantastic right now, as good as it's ever looked. Driving it well, it's a perfect golf course fit.
Putting it well?
Putting it really well. That was his big issue last year, and he's been top 25 on the tour since he's kind of fixed those putting issues this year.
devastating loss to Georgia Tech, where they made significant coaching errors. But Miami, with all of these changes, obviously looking to churn over this roster and upgrade the talent level.
Don't sleep on Rick Pitino. Listen, at the end of the day, the portal is the portal, Mike. Don't matter where you came from, it's where you're going and how much money can you get.
Inside the transfer portal, only on SportsGrid.
And now you have to qualify in these majors. You got to go do it, man. Like, and it just comes off really petty to sit up there and be like, I'm not.
You know what you signed up for. So I don't like the pettiness. And I 100% think Taylor Gooch should be in the major championships. So in the same note, I'm saying this, but also it's like, hey, this is the world in which we live in right now, and you don't deserve anything.
Only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid. Your 24/7 sports wagering network. The early line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Pharrell, coast to coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
Game time decisions.
Luka is actually far more dangerous from three on the road this year than at home.
This game here tonight, you may want to consider taking as many points as humanly possible.
In-game live, prime time.
We got not one, but two coaches fired systems in place.
Sports Rage Late
Night.
Night.
Has letdown written all over it. It's going to be hard to match the emotion that they played with the other night.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
We are not TaylorMade affiliated here, but if you can't sell a spider putter right now, find a new line of work. I mean, because between Rory getting hot with the putter and coming into this week in great form on the greens, and Scotty Scheffler, who, you know, it was well documented. Rory made the suggestion for the change of the Genesis. Scotty goes to that putter and he makes everything he's looking at and routes a, 4 wins and 5 starts. Like, or it was a 3-win and 4 starts. You lose track.
Did you see Jordan Spieth's interview today?
What did Jordan say?
So Jordan, there was a reporter that asked him about Scotty Scheffler and the advice that he would give him about being a dad. And Jordan had a pretty clever response saying, you know what, I think we're done giving Scotty advice in anything because the rest of the field will be upset with me if I give him good advice. I think he'll be able to figure it out. And also he complimented him on how good of a dad he will be, which, again, congrats to him and Scotty on their baby boy, which...
Baby boy,
Sammy Spieth and Bennett, I believe, is the name that I read online.
Bennett Scheffler.
Bennett Scheffler and Sammy Spieth could be quite a duo one day.
And Walker Hume, maybe.
There you go.
That's. I mean, as we've documented on the spot, I mean, Scotty's rapidly becoming a favorite because of all the amazing human being, dad now. Excited to see him go on that journey, and also. The tournament favorite this week at the odds plus 375 right now.
Dude, stop it.
It's just silly. The guy takes off 3 weeks and checks in.
And what are you using? Just so when we're referring to odds in this program.
That's right. There are a lot of different books you can use out there. The one I've chosen to use this week is ESPN Bet because they're like the official on-site odds provider here.
It's
PGA
showing plus 350 for me on him.
Well, it's moved since we started the episode.
Just crazy, so man.
That means something else.
And I don't know if you want to talk about it now, but
Scotty, let's dig right into it.
Scotty at plus 350. I don't like the price. I don't think this golf course to me is a perfect Scotty Scheffler fit. I think this is going to be a bunch leaderboard. I think the greens aren't severe. I think a lot of guys are going to be hanging around that wouldn't be hanging around in other majors. I don't think it's going to separate the pack quite as much. There's not a ton of slope on these greens. You have to drive it well. Don't get me wrong. Like if you're not driving it well, the run-up areas here are not wide. It's not like a U.S. Open at Pinehurst in which you can run things up onto the green. It's a forced carry type of a golf course. But if you drive it long and you drive it straight, you're going to have an advantage. Which Scotty's going to have that advantage because he drives it well. But there's going to be a whole lot of other guys that drive it long and straight, that have good iron games, and if it turns into a putting contest, let's go back to for instance, the American Express Championship on bent greens, that's a shootout.
Yep.
Scotty Scheffler was not even anywhere near contention in a golf course that seemed to always be a putting contest. So I don't like the price at plus 350 with Scotty. I would stay away. I think you look at other guys this week, and if you're a guy that is just going to ride Scotty to the sunset, by all means, don't let me talk you out of that because I do think he's the best player in the game, and I 100% would not be surprised if he won this golf tournament. I just find value across the board with plenty of other guys.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's well said. I think part of that is because we both use Scotty Scheffler already for one and done. So we
we're looking other ways.
We're looking other ways. We're going to have those picks for you on the other side of an awesome interview coming up with Fat Perez, who I'm looking at right now at the bar. Excited to have him on. But I think, you only have to go back to the Masters, the last major, to kind of contrast the course setup, the nerves, and just even the conditions this week. Like, we're going to get a lot of rain this week. It's going to be softer. It should theoretically be easier greens to hold. And the guys that are, bombers, that's why I like Rory a lot this week because he's going to hit it a lot further. A lot of guys aren't going to get rollout. Or even Xander has been doing the speed training. I don't know if I like him to win, but I think he's a lock for a top 10 or a top 5. But, looking at the Masters where there was a ton of wind, it got crispy, it got firm, it got fast. You had guys making mistakes, Ludwig and Colin Morikawa coming down the stretch. And to your point, I mean, the conditions and the way this course is set up should keep a lot more players in the mix this week and may just be tougher for Scotty to separate, on those grounds alone. So there's another guy who I feel like he's exactly where he needs to be right now because this is so perfect. This guy is the PGA Championship whisperer. He's got 3 of them. He loves having the chip on his shoulder, loves being the underdog. And here we are rolling into his defense of this PGA Championship. And all everyone wants to talk about is Scotty Scheffler and Rory McIlroy.
Yep.
Like, does it not just feel like the script is going to play out perfectly for Brooks Koepka 14-1?
It really does feel that way, and I'm kind of sorting through a Justin Ray stat about Brooks Koepka as I sit here and talk to you about him. But coming off of Singapore, I feel like it's just the light bulb of seeing Brooks Koepka in the winner's circle before, in which the 2 majors that he's played the best in, the PGA and the U.S. Open coming up. It just, everybody's like, all right, Brooks Koepka's going to be in the top 5 after Thursday. He's going to be there all week and has a chance probably on Sunday to win, if not win. And Justin Ray had a really great stat about Brooks Koepka. And since, since 2014 at the PGA, 63 under par, and that's 27 better than anybody else. That's just crazy to me. And shout out, by the way, Justin Ray is one of the best follows on Twitter. He's
everyone that doesn't have an on-staff researcher. He is their researcher.
Yeah, you're a researcher.
Thanks, Justin.
Yeah.
You get a producer credit. So we're thrilled now to join, or to have Fat Perez join the show now. Going to have him sit right here. Maybe order a steak and a bourbon or something like that. But before we do that, we got to take care of some business here. And this is kind of a special moment for the show here. This is like our first real live read we've done since we started. So I'm going to slide the official iPad over you. You got that section right there? All right, fire away, Smiley. All right.
Give
it a shot.
T-Mobile Club Magenta is the place to be at the PGA Championship. Everybody, come hang with me like I told you guys earlier. T-Mobile customers, like we are.
And you can be too.
And stay for the bonus Magenta status, VIP vibes. Get your complimentary cocktail during Magenta Hour.
Magenta Hour sounds.
You can charge your phone. Charge your phone. You've been tweeting too much. You've been posting too many Snapchats, Instagram Reels. I know how the Gen Zs are these days. So keep that phone charged up. And there's going to be some cool T-Mobile swag. We're going to be there all week. I'm excited to watch a bunch of golf, especially where we're stationed on number 10.
Yes, it's going to be awesome.
I've been to Valhalla. I know kind of where you want to be. 10's a great spot because 13's right there too. That's going to be a very popular spot. So come by, hang out with us at the T-Mobile Club Magenta Lounge.
Magenta. Come vibe with us, Magenta Vibes. Good read. Way to go, big dog.
Yeah.
Look at us.
How about us?
How about us? We did. Who would have thought? Not me. And without further ado, we're going to welcome on Fat Perez.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
A lot of books, and outside of the New York area, the Canes are actually favored in Game 1 of this series. I'm seeing it right now. I'm looking. I see a -115 Canes, Rangers -105.
I like the 6 and 7 games prop, like I took with Boston, Toronto, which we now know is going to cash. I think it's got a chance to go the distance. It's going to be a long, tough, close series.
Sports Rage Late Night, only on SportsGrid.
The Cam Rising stuff last year with Utah, 3 months of pretending he was questionable with a torn ACL, ridiculous.
It's a lot of gray right now when it comes to this stuff, and we really are. When people say we're in like the second or third inning of sports betting, that's why I agree, because there's so many of those situations that are very, very difficult to explain to a novice.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
A surprise winner on the PGA Tour. Taylor Pendrith ends up winning his first PGA Tour win.
He was pretty darn lucky to win. Ben Coles should have won that tournament, also seeking his first PGA Tour victory. He went into the 18th hole, the easiest hole on the golf course, with a one-shot lead, and he was there in 2, just less than 30 feet from the cup.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
All right, we are back with our previously promised guest. We're so excited to have Nick Stubbe, a.k.a. Fat Perez, a.k.a. Perez, on the show. We got a nice little place setting for you here, so if any moment in time you like a steak or a bourbon, really anything you like, we can make that happen.
Yeah, I want to get these forks to good use, bro.
I mean, they're looking like they're a little too clean for our taste right now, but we can't go any further without pulling the curtain back a little bit and recapping the series of events that led to this interview. Mainly, Smiley, I'll just let you take it from here. Like, talk to me about time zones.
So, it's about a 5.5 hour drive from Birmingham to Louisville. And in planning this, your kind of the out time was going to be somewhere around 6 o'clock. You originally had an 8 p.m. flight.
Yep.
Eventually, you moved it back, so it wasn't as big of a deal. But if it was, we'd had a big time problem, because I'm driving up, talking to a buddy, and telling him I'm going to be here at about give or take 4:20, and I have an hour 20 left in the drive, and he's in Louisville. He's like, dude, you're going to be pretty late. And I was like, what are you talking about? It's 3 o'clock. He's like, what are you talking about? No, it's 4. I was like, okay. Apparently Louisville is in the Eastern time zone.
That's right.
So watch out for that for anybody that's playing the PGA Championship this week, because you can get tricked up on it. Even though Birmingham and Louisville, it's directly north. I don't get it. Why?
It's also it's a real fumble from the GPS app industry that they should
Well said.
It knows where you're going. That's literally what it's doing. It should show you, like, the time of arrival should be local time.
That is a great point.
I just drove. I was here for Derby weekend, and I drove down to meet my boys to film in Nashville last week. I had the opposite problem, which turned into not a problem. It's like, oh guys, I'm gonna miss dinner at 7:30 ETA, and then somewhere along the line, I just look at the GPS. It's like, oh shit, no, I'm getting 6:30. Like, oh, here we go. I just got an hour back. This is awesome. But like, I was like, why would that be? Surely that thing should factor that in. That's ridiculous.
Wait, so coming back here 2 weeks after the Derby, is there like a little bit of Sunday scaries going on right now coming back to Louisville?
A little bit, yeah. No, this has been an interesting run. I haven't really been. I was in home for me now is Jupiter, Florida, and I was there for about 36 hours between basically Thursday ahead of Derby to which will be Thursday of this week. So yeah, it's been a bit of a lot of different mattresses, a lot of different cocktails. Yes, to answer your question, very much so. This is I'm trying to go to different places than I did Derby week, so I don't get like flashbacks.
We will say like not all bad on the road trip front, because we actually opened this episode with the recap of my Little Caesar stop, and then you and I just kind of bond a little bit over that.
You were describing like a little like pie that they had. I was like, no, bro, I know what you're talking about. Very familiar with what they have.
How good is the crazy bread?
It's the best. It's crazy
what is
bread.
The seasoning they put on that?
It's
and the
just
marinara
butter and Parmesan and undercooked dough, bro. It is the best.
It's the undercooked that really sells it for me.
That's exactly what it does. It's
elite.
It's sticky, is what it is, and it's the best. Like, I think Pizza Hut breadsticks deserve some look into that conversation, but I think Crazy Bread might have it beat.
And here's the best part about that, SK, is that my Prius, this is one of the times when it was not starting, so I got like an extra 3 or 4 breadsticks in before I hit the road again, which was really nice. You know, it sometimes, most of the time it works against me, but in this particular situation, it really worked in my favor.
That's fantastic.
You really love to see it. So.
Oh, gosh, man. Well, thank you for joining us here at Malone's. And this is a great spot. They got these around the country. But here in Louisville, what a great setup we have. And listen, you are absolutely crushing it in the content space. Y'all have such a great group. Y'all's camaraderie. It's evident. Like, there's no faking y'all's relationship. I think it's very genuine how it comes across. Y'all are probably my favorite of the group. Of all the golf guys, and Charlie and I are getting into that space as well, so we definitely need to get on the golf course and do some content soon, but that's for another day. But I want to just talk a little bit about, you're kind of a professional golfer, because you travel more to play golf every single week. Y'all put out weeks, episodes, you were saying every Thursday. I mean, dude, you have a professional travel grind. You have like a massage therapist, like physical therapist, mental coach, physical coach. Like, do you have all that? Or are you dialed in? Are you hurting all the time?
Clearly, I do not. I wish. I appreciate the kind words. We're having like, for me especially, and I know my guys too. It's the time of our lives, man. We're traveling the country and the world. You know, going to Scotland last year and playing golf with our friends. Like, it's 3 buddies that are just playing golf, and I think everybody can relate to that back home. You know, you work all week and hope to grab that early tee time on Saturday, and hopefully your wife and girlfriend lets you book it on Sunday too, but you can't always.
Look at Charlie, he's jonesing over here.
Yeah,
we just recapped the fact that we both have small children now, and the sales pitch, you've got to go even further and further. They're getting more and more elaborate for some of these golf trips.
You got to start lying too. I mean, that's you got to start dipping into that territory, which is no one wants that. I mean, we don't want to do it, but we gotta have some release.
You look at the Denver Nuggets and say, whoa, just a week ago, they were that minus 115 or so price. Now we're looking at them at a 7-1 price. Any chances the Nuggets can actually come back?
I think this is going 6 or 7 games, so I think that could be a little bit of a tighter spread between those two. But when you got those 2 guys, those 2 monsters, and Towns and Edwards, it's just really hard.
The early line. Only on
The Cam Rising stuff last year with Utah, 3 months of pretending he was questionable with a torn ACL, ridiculous.
It's a lot of gray right now when it comes to this stuff, and we really are. When people say we're in like the 2nd or 3rd inning of sports betting, that's why I agree, because there's so many of those situations that are very, very difficult to explain to a novice.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
And now you have to qualify in these majors. you got to go do it, man. Like, and it just comes off really petty to sit up there and be like, I'm not.
You know what you signed up for. So I don't like the pettiness, and I 100% think Taylor Gooch should be in the major championships. So in the same note, I'm saying this, but also it's like, hey, this is the world in which we live in right now, and you don't deserve anything.
Only on SportsGrid.
We're here, obviously, for the PGA Championship, and two of the guys in the field this week are trying their hand at this, right?
Yeah.
Bryson DeChambeau doing a ton of content, Akshay Bhatia. There might even be others that I don't know about. I mean, how unique is it for you all to live in a world where, you know, a good has a Callaway club deal and branded equipment, and you all are, you know, putting out videos every week that are doing just huge numbers, more so than maybe even viewing audiences that are you know, PGA Tour events are getting? I mean, is it interesting to kind of live in a world like that, given where this thing started for you all?
Yeah, it's kind of a new frontier, so it's hard to, like, you know, I think if it's a sitcom on like a network television show, like you have like barometers, you have a bar, performance, history, you know, there's a lot that you can kind of compare yourself with. And this is, you know, we don't know what the ceiling is. You know, we feel like, you know, it's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger on every different level. You know, the brands that we work with, we're with Callaway as well. You know, we started our own apparel line. We just released a canned tequila cocktail called Have a Day. So, I mean,
that's right.
There's just these things that, you know, guests, you know, and it's just crazy that the DMs are changing. Like, everything just is getting a little bit different. And I don't really know what that means. I mean, we got to keep doing what we're doing. And I think the best part is we don't really know anything else. I mean, we're three guys that are just ridiculous that have probably had to apologize for the way we've been most of our lives. And so yeah, it's a very surreal thing. There's moments where you're somewhere and you're looking around and you're just like, holy, like, is everyone tricked right now? Like, this doesn't make any sense. But you know, we're just as long as just be myself, I really, there's nothing else I can do.
Yeah. And I was with you briefly at the merch tent and Waste Management. Joel Damon and I were filming some content for Waste Management, which actually turned out hilarious. Joel's the best, which we need to get Joel on the pod too pretty soon. But we were standing there, Joel, myself, you, Robbie, Joey, and we're all just hanging there. And I'm telling you, it's like the Beatles were there. I'm telling you. And even I saw y'all at the Masters, and you'll have like this crowd following you guys. And I mean, just talk about the fame, man. Like, is that something you've gotten used to yet? Just being somewhere and people just want to take pictures with you. They want to talk to you. They just want to get to know who you are because they feel like they know you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's very surreal. I appreciate those interactions because it means we're doing something right, and I appreciate like the love and the support. You know, that's really what I feel in those moments when people come up and say, you know, I love what you do, or wearing a Have a Day hat, whatever it may be. I don't personally try, like, I didn't start doing this. I don't even know why I started doing this. I don't know how I started doing this, but I'm here. But it certainly wasn't for fame. You know, I wasn't like, I wanna be famous. I wanna be a celebrity. That part is just, I still don't think it's true. I think we're just, you know, we're hanging out in people's living rooms with them. You know, we're, you know, I feel like people, because we open ourselves up on YouTube and on social media, kind of sun up to sundown of our lives, people know a lot about us. And so they, you know, when you run into these people, they feel like they know you. And I think that's, you know, I love that they feel that way. You know, I want to spend as much time with every person that I can. And I think that openness that we have is the reason that people feel such a connection to us.
I don't know if you're familiar with SB 2K16, but we kind of got this content creation thing started. We didn't even know we were content creators. So I feel like We opened the doors for you guys so you guys could run with this
royalties,
thing.
A lot of
yeah,
royalties.
I mean, I remember that as a golf fan, and it was sort of like...
Did you watch the Snapchats?
Oh, yeah. That was cool shit. It was sort of like, I don't know, I can't really remember like a big peek behind the curtain of like tour pro life, like off camera. Like to me, that at least, you know, at whatever 35 I am, that's the first time I remember being like,
oh, these guys drink.
Holy shit. Like, no, these guys are like, they're like getting after it. Like, and they don't, it's not like golf isn't just work for these guys only. Like they got the boys together. They went down to the Bahamas. And they're just getting after it, bro. Like no clothes, just the golf cart stuff hanging off the cart. I was like, okay, these guys are like
an ad free,
super cool, yeah. And it's just like, damn, they should be making some money off of this, idiots.
It turned out that was my tryout for NBC. As I would take a salt shaker, I would take a coconut, and that would be my mic because I was commentating on all the guys in the group.
That's
little
hilarious.
did I know that was my future career.
That's hilarious. Got you a Natty Light deal too.
Yeah, there you go.
So I think Jordan and Ricky, I think a lot of those guys are still benefiting from that little kind of peek behind the camera. That's when people talk to me about, YouTube and the tour and, what can each party kind of learn from each other. I think that personality, like, when you guys are out on the course, you're working. Yeah. Right, you're not. It is an entertainment thing on TV, but you're not entertainers. This isn't wrestling. Yeah. Right, you guys. But you know what? Some guys feel that responsibility, and other guys are just trying to play the best that they can. And like a Jordan or a John, that can be a little more vocal. So you feel like you get to know them, and then you got like Patrick Cantlay, and even Xander, who's a funny dude, but when he's playing, he's not talking. He's not any emotion. Because he's working. So, like, I think that thing that you guys did, it just sort of was a peek behind the curtain. And I think that's really how you're going to... I don't think they're really fans of tour. I don't think they're, like, live fans and, like, PGA Tour fans. I think that there are fans of players that play on the tours. So the more that you can, like, build up those people and personalities off the golf course when they're actually making money... That's what's really going to bring eyeballs and like investment from audiences, in my opinion.
So Valhalla is the site of perhaps the most iconic putt walk-in celebration of all time. The Tiger Woods 2000 against Bob May, pointing at it and running into the hole. You have a pretty iconic putt walk-in celebration, the Euro step.
Sure.
Here's what I want to know. Of all the players in the field this week, like who would you like to see adopt the Euro step most?
I'll be honest with you, man. If I saw it, I don't care who did it, man. That would be like a wild thing for me, man.
Like, that's your mama I made it.
That would be a wild moment for me. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's sort of like beggars can't be choosers on that one. But
who would be most likely to do it? Maybe then.
Oh man. I think it's probably the guys we've like done stuff with.
Okay.
I don't know. I look at some of them though that they're not going to like get into that. I think like I would say maybe Joel.
That was who I thought you were going to say. I thought you were going to say Joel.
He's the most likely to do something like that. Where like I might Max and Keegan and all these guys that we are close with. I just don't see them breaking it out. Like, I just, they're very...
Max is stalwart out there, yeah.
Yeah, he's very serious out there. Very much so. So I just don't see it happening.
Get Keegan a match play. He'll look you in the eyes and I'm going to kill you.
Yeah.
Like if you're playing him. He gets match play mode.
I tell you who I'd love to see do it, because it run counter to his whole golf robot personality. Ludwig hitting the Euro.
That would be wild.
That'd be hilarious.
He's
right?
become like more likable with like his smiling at the Masters.
Great sense of humor.
Yeah.
That dry Scandinavian sense of humor. Wouldn't put it past him.
So FP, the guys that y'all have done work with, you're a great player yourself. Of all the guys that you've played with, who's been the one guy that's impressed you the most that you're like, man, what he's able to do is just like unfathomable?
Yeah. Our first video match with Homa, with Max, was...
Yeah, what did he shoot?
He lipped out a 12-footer on 18 and shot 60.
Wow.
He made 12 birdies.
Wow.
And I think if he had that putt 40 more times, he'd make the next 39 of them. Like it was that was the best golf I've ever seen in person, because he just didn't miss. And every putt, he made every putt. I think I can only think of that putt and then a putt on one from like 30 feet that he nudged the hole on. Every other putt, he just hooped from everywhere. And it was just like, this is wild.
You look at the Denver Nuggets and say, whoa, just a week ago, they were that minus 115 or so price. Now we're looking at them at a 7-to-1 price. Any chances the Nuggets can actually come back?
I think this is going 6 or 7 games, so I think that could be a little bit of a tighter spread between those two. But when you got those two guys, those two monsters, and Towns and Edwards, it's just really hard.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Every missed call, the entire game, whether it's a charge or a block or a deflection that was wrong or a foul that should have been called that wasn't called, or vice versa. Give me a 48-minute report, and people that will understand that there's so many mistakes that the referees make over the course of the game that referees, ready folks, don't decide the outcome.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. The Early Line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Pharrell, coast to coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
Game time decisions.
Luka is actually far more dangerous from three on the road this year than at home.
This game here tonight, you may want to consider taking as many points as humanly possible.
In-game live, prime time.
We got not one, but two coaches fired systems in place.
Sports Rage
This
Late
sort of
Night.
has letdown written all over it. It's going to be hard to match the emotion that they played with the other night.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Very recently, you were one of 16 guys that could have been playing, alongside, maybe not that set of guys because it was, opposite field event, but you had a chance to qualify for a PGA Tour event. I mean, what was that? What was the process like of mentally getting ready for that? And how do you prepare? Do you try to play cool and just relax and not worry about it? Or do you really kind of go to the range and get ready? Like, what was that whole experience like?
Yeah. Well, I shot 81. So whatever I did, I should have done something else. Yeah, that was a really unique opportunity. Like, I remember getting the phone call about it. My first instinct was like, what a great idea this is. Like, opposite of field event, first year tour stop. Like, what a brilliant move by Myrtle Beach to, like, create a little bit of hype, a little bit of lead in, leverage our audiences. Like, it was smart. It was smart. It was smart, and like, it felt like it was a win-win. You know what I mean? Like, we could get some really good content, super cool opportunity from us as creators, but also, like, they're going to get, like, a pretty cool, jolt and an audience and look in on this thing. So, yeah, I'll never have a round that has so much at stake as that one. I was still living in Virginia at the time. This was like early March when this was filmed. So I was still in Virginia. It's cold.
Yes.
And so we did a film week in Myrtle Beach leading up to it. And so it was like a week leading in. Before that week getting down there, I didn't play for 3 weeks. So that was a mistake. Wow. I should have been doing anything, like something, or I should have just flown to Florida and just like worked on my game a little bit. So I didn't play my best. I didn't prepare to play my best. I had to have played. I would have had to play my best round of my life, probably, at that setup and against those guys to be in the mix.
Well, we have something in common, you and I. When there's one round on the line to potentially change the outcome of our entire professional history of what could be, we both shot 81s. 81 for you in the Myrtle Beach qualifier, 81 for me on Sunday at Augusta in the final pairing. So we have that going for us.
Yeah, it's a tough number.
Hang the banner.
Yeah,
Many people
hang the banner. 81.
Yeah,
81's. It just doesn't sound good. It's not like a good number.
It's way better than 83.
It's definitely better than 83.
I would take an 84 over an 83. That just sounds better.
I feel like, you know what another bad one is 78.
Oh, yeah.
78 is that's just that's a lot of lines. You know what I mean? Like 77 is way more than a stroke better than 78.
Yeah.
If I'm 6 over par and somebody asked me, like even when I was playing in college, I would never ever say like when the coach would come up and ask, say, how are you playing? I'm 4 or 5 over par. I'm not 6.
No.
Like it's like I think I'm 4 or 5. I'm never at that 78 number because that's like the hey buddy, you need to get your life in order.
Yeah. 78's not just like you shoot 80, 81, it's like, all right, like you just didn't have it today. Yeah. 78's like you didn't try hard enough.
Yeah.
Like you had it, you just didn't care.
You need to look yourself in the mirror.
81's like, hey man, you couldn't have done anything about that.
Your hands up.
So 78's just like, dude, you don't work hard enough, bro.
That's amazing. Well, I feel like we got to wrap this up with we need a pick for the week. I mean,
have you heard about our picks, by the way? We started doing these one and done picks.
Okay.
It started in Mexico, the Mexico Open. So there's been 12 events, and between the two of us, we have hit on a 50% rate on the picking winners. We are just
6 to 12
on
winners.
fire. Like between the two of us. So
and
like
this is a one and done. So we
you
couldn't use guys multiple times.
You got a lot of rich listeners right now. I think
I am second on the FedEx Cup with my picks. He's third on the FedEx Cup. And Scotty, that's how good Scotty's playing.
That's how good he's
Yeah, I mean, like of all the years to do it, yeah. So when are you guys picking Scotty every week?
We've lost Scotty on our one and done. Just so you
put together a
haven't,
nice tribute
but
to
you
Scotty,
haven't burned Scotty. You could pick Scotty right now if you want to.
Yes, that's
or
right.
you could be the smart guy and pick Jake Knapp in Mexico like Charlie did, or pick Steven Yeager in Houston like I did. So are you going to pull a rabbit out of the hat on us?
Man, I feel like I have to. I mean,
let's talk some ball.
If it was like not that lead up and it was just like pick gun to your head, I mean, Rory is like the clear obvious choice for me.
Yeah.
He won last week. He's clearly playing well. This is a big ballpark that it values distance off the tee and accuracy, two things that he has, and he won here. Like he won the PGA here last time, so it's like, that would be like the oh yeah Perez, like good one pick. But if I had to just like snag someone,
so not taking Rory, but he did a really good job of picking Rory Gibbers. So
he's already
you're really good at this because like we end up listing 5 guys, but then we end up picking one.
That's right.
So like, you know what? We were on to him.
Yeah, we said his name.
Rory's 1B, 1A. Let's go. I'm gonna go like dark horse.
Love this.
Wow. I'm gonna go dark horse. I'm gonna go Sahith. The Gala.
Love this.
Love that. We just have him on the pod. And honestly, I thought this was like a lead into, we had the Dude Perfect guys on in Augusta. And hilariously, one of the guys picked Jason Day. And it was just like nobody saw it coming.
That's
and
fun.
we're like, hell yeah, man.
That's
like,
fun, bro.
And it took us by surprise. But Sahith is actually a great pick. If you go look at his stats, you go look at his results in the last 3 years, it's a great pick. I think this could be a potential clip, and honestly, we'll cut off the if Rory happens to win, we'll cut that for you.
Say that.
We'll cut that for you too.
Prove it.
We can make anybody say anything with some good editing. You know
He's
what I mean?
played
It's a
so
magic
well
of
in majors
podcasts.
recently, and I think his game is just. He's got that cut, like that go-to cut, and he's got a hot putter sometimes. I think he's got a shot.
Love it. Well, Perez, it's been fantastic having you on. Really appreciate you coming here to Malone's and joining us. And maybe see you tomorrow.
Why not? Yeah, screw.
Have you heard about my game? Where I'm at?
You breaking 80?
Dude, I'm telling you, like I barely shoot in the 70s now. Like I either shoot 81 or I shoot 64.
Vestavia is tough. I mean,
Vestavia is not hard.
It's not hard. It's not that hard.
No, seriously, I'm either turning pro again or I'm throwing my clubs away. So hopefully, I would love to have a round soon where I have 17 pars and a birdie. And just a no bogey clean round in play all day, a classic FP round.
Yeah, I don't have a whole lot of fireworks one way or the other. It's boring golf sometimes. That's why I had to do a Euro step. I had to put a little something into the mix.
I'll tell you what, guys. I'll take one for the team. I'll shoot the 81 tomorrow.
Yeah, there you
so
go.
that one's on me, guys.
Perfect. Thank you for that.
Yeah. There you have it. Fat Perez live from Valhalla. And coming up next, our one and done picks.
A surprise winner on the PGA Tour. Taylor Hendrick ends up winning his first PGA Tour win.
He was pretty darn lucky to win. Ben Coles should have won that tournament. Also seeking his first PGA Tour victory, he went into the 18th hole, the easiest hole on the golf course, with a one-shot lead, and he was there in two, just less than 30 feet from the cup.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid. The Bostonian versus the Book.
Do Leafs fans stop watching hockey now, or do they root for other Canadian teams, Cam?
No, I'm not a proponent of that, and it's actually kind of bothered me that, like, all the people in Toronto are kind of like, oh, now I'm going to cheer for the Oilers. Like, why? What's your affiliation with the Oilers? Like, Canucks still exist. Like, I don't lose automatically and say, yeah, I'm going to cheer for the Ottawa Senators because they're Canadian. No, I cheer for my bets.
The Bostonian versus the Book.
A lot of books, and outside of the New York area, the Canes are actually favored in Game 1 of this series. I'm seeing it right now. I'm looking. I see a -115 Canes, Rangers -105.
I like the 6 and 7 games prop, like I took with Boston, Toronto, which we now know is going to cash. I think it's got a chance to go the distance. It's going to be a long, tough, close series.
Sports Rage Late Night, only on SportsGrid.
The Cam Rising stuff last year with Utah, 3 months of pretending he was questionable with a torn ACL, ridiculous.
It's a lot of gray right now when it comes to this stuff, and we really are. When people say we're in like the second or third inning of sports betting, that's why I agree, because there's so many of those situations that are very, very difficult to explain to a novice.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
We have covered a lot of big names, and that does lead us to part of the show that we are now 6 of our last 12. We're batting 500. That doesn't just get us in the Hall of Fame. That gets us like GOAT status. And we got to keep it going here. So it's time for our PGA Championship one and done picks presented by T-Mobile. And I'm channeling all the magenta vibes available for this pick because I'm going to need them here. I went.
It's your pick first?
I'm picking first.
Because I took Rory at Wells Fargo last week first.
I'm picking first this week.
All right, who you got?
This is a tough one because it's a major, so you want to try to use a live guy. So there are names I'm looking at there. And there's a lot of kind of uncertainty around certain names. But I went on SportsGrid the day after the Masters before I drove home in my 2014 Prius that decided to start for the first time on that day, which was excellent. And I committed to a guy who I said was going to win the PGA Championship. And I got to ride with him because I don't want to miss the bus when this guy does win a major. I'm rocking with Ludwig.
You're going to ride the injury thing. It's a great pick. Ludwig is a star. I mean, just second major ever, and he's top 6 on the odds board.
He just looked so cool, calm, and collected at the Masters. A brilliant iron player, which he's going to need this week.
Hits it up.
Definitely long enough. I just feel like this is a guy that, it's tough, and that's why I'm so intrigued by what the knee situation is, because I want to unpack it a little more.
You were trying to get me to confirm something.
Give me some nuggets. But I just really do think that, there are some big names, there are some heavyweights in this field, and Scotty Scheffler, look, we burned all our Scotty Scheffler usages, otherwise we might be using him here. But if we can't take Scotty, I think this could be it for Ludwig. I really do think. I think this is a good course fit for him.
All right, good pick. Well, it was nice for me to see the light last week with Rory McIlroy, and if it were me right now and I could pick Rory McIlroy again, I would. So just like Fat Perez when he came on here earlier and said, you know what, I love Rory McIlroy, but that's 1B. That would be my pick, would be Rory this week if I could pick him. But the guy that I'm going to take a LIV guy. I'm going to burn that card. I kind of talked about it a minute ago. I just didn't want to lead you down that path so you could take him. I think Jon Rahm is going to get his first win of 2024. Whew. Jon Rahm is going to get his third major title. Is that right? Winning
U.S. Open.
U.S. Open and the Masters.
Yeah.
He's going to get his third major title.
I think away from a Grand Slam at that point.
Yeah. I think he's an elite driver of the golf ball. He's going to find himself in the fairway. And I love Jon Rahm with the putter in his hands. Guy I feel like listening to his interviews this week, it feels like he has a point to prove. And I think he's been a bit of annoyed of people just not realizing how good he's played. He's top 10 in every single week. And according to Justin Ray, another stat I'm going to use from him, follow him if you don't, he leads the LIV Golf Tour in birdie average. And a golf course that I predict that you need to get going early. You probably need to be on a pace of getting to that 16 under number. So we're trying to average at least 4 under par around. So you need a guy who's making 6 to 7 birdies around. Jon Rahm's been doing it on the LIV Golf Tour. I'm riding with Jon this week. Third major title. I feel really confident about it.
I don't hate the pick. I mean, if I was going to take a LIV guy, I think I'd ride with Brooks.
Yeah.
But let's see how. I mean, it would make sense. I mean, it's a guy that again, in similar fashion to Brooks, and maybe even more so, a lot of people aren't talking about him winning this thing, and that's the exact type of fuel that Jon Rahm uses to go out and
the
win
odds don't make sense. He didn't have a great Masters. I think people just see, what have I seen from you lately? For the folks that haven't watched him play on LIV, I'm one of those people. I have not watched him play on LIV, but I can look at the stats. I can read about how he's played. I can see just how close he has been to winning. And the guy hasn't forgotten how to win. Let's not forget that. He's last year we were debating him whether it was Scotty, Rory, or Rahm, and I'm willing to kind of ride Jon Rahm this week, and it's just a matter of time before he wins a major championship again. And why not here at Valhalla?
Those are the one and done picks presented by T-Mobile. To us, Club Magenta. The next 3-4 days.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to be out there tomorrow for Spilling the Tea.
Spilling the tea, baby.
It's going to be amazing. And then we're going to record our recap journals Thursday, Friday, Saturday from Club Magenta. So come hang out with us. Everyone can get in. Come charge your phone. Come grab some T-Mobile swag. We'll be there hanging out. We'll look forward to seeing you there as well. And that's all for us on this PGA Championship preview. So enjoy. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you. We'll go eat some steaks, and we'll talk to you soon.
Cheers.